Good evening, everyone. I'm going to start the meeting with a short prayer and a salute to our flag. If everyone would stand, please. Almighty God, grant us the wisdom to make those decisions that are in the best interest of all our residents. May the Heavenly Father of us all bless those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation, and may He watch over and protect our servicemen and women now guarding the gates of freedom. Salute to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Statement of publication.
Take notice that this regular agenda meeting of the Mayor and Borough Council being held on this 10th day of November, 2025 has been posted and advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Balca.
Here.
Polisi.
Here.
Novak.
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
Sinarski.
Here.
Zabrowski.
Council President, approval of prior minutes.
I move the following minutes of the mayor and council be approved on roll call vote, subject to correction if necessary. July 21st, special meeting and exec, receipt of bids October 16th, and regular and agenda session October 27th. Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Balca.
Yes.
Polisi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Okay, at this time, Stoch, you have a proclamation to present to the Keith Braun proclamation. If the governing body would come up to the rail. Alberto, why don't you come up?
And I invited Mary Novak to come up with us. She served many years with Keith on the first aid squad, so I want her to meet up with us. Proclamation. Whereas Keith Braun, a valued member of Sayreville First Aid Squad, January 1982 through 2006. And whereas he served at the dedication in the past as a secretary of the squad, and whereas he was chief driver for 4 years, and whereas Keith spent 5 years with the Board of Trustees, and whereas Keith has served with honor as assistant captain, and treasurer for the emergency squad, and became an honorary life member March 18th, 1996. And whereas Keith received a certificate of appreciation, ex-captain of the emergency squad on March 18th, 1996. Whereas Keith received a General Assembly citation for saving the life of another on December 18th, 1996. And whereas Keith received a FEMA certification of achievement introduction to the command system, March of 2006. Whereas Keith received the Senate and General Assembly citation for assisting a choking victim with the Sayreville Emergency Squad on January 13th, 2001. Whereas Keith, a loving husband of Linda for over 50 years, and a proud father of Keith and Michelle, and loving and cherished grandchildren, Abigail, Tobin, and family and friends. Now, therefore, on behalf of Mayor Kennedy O'Brien, the Borough Council hereby acknowledge the contribution of Keith Braun has made to the Borough of Sayreville and cause this proclamation to be issued an official seal on the borough duty affixed this 10th day of November, 2025. But before that, Keith was very important to me. I know Keith and Linda for over 50 years. When I was a young man, say 15, 16 years old, Keith and his neighbor Bruce Bostic, they worked in the garage next door, and I was a young person interested in being a mechanic, and I liked playing with cars and things like that. Keith and Brucey, they had patience. Now, it's hard to believe Keith had a lot of patience because everybody knew Keith was a little not too patient sometimes. But they spent time with me. They showed me a lot of things. They showed me things that I learned to keep mechanical trade all the way that I use in today's day. And then I had the fortunate to work with Keith in MCUA. Keith was in charge of one of the biggest pump stations in the state. He was the chief mechanic there, lead mechanic. There's many nights we spent there, many days we spent there because we were always called in for overtime. And Keith was an excellent person. He was a big mentor to me. And I really, that's why we're doing this for you tonight too. Thank you again.
Yes. Need a motion to accept that proclamation?
Make a motion to accept the proclamation.
Second.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Valka.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Novak.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Old business?
Public hearing on the following ordinances. Bond ordinance number 2625, bond ordinance providing for various park improvements by and in the borough of Saraville in the county of Middlesex, state of New Jersey, appropriating $1,240,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,178,000 bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
This time, I'm going to open the public portion for questions or comments on this ordinance. Are there any questions or comments? Being no questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion. Councilman Belka.
Move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Roll call?
Councilpersons Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts. Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski. Public hearing on bond ordinance number 27-25, bond ordinance providing for various roadway improvements by and in the borough of Saraville in the county of Middlesex, state of New Jersey, appropriating $6,360,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $6,042,000 bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
This time, I'm going to open the public portion for questions or comments. Are there questions or comments? Jim?
Yes, Mayor. Thank you. Jim Robinson, Harlan. I'm going to come in on this and all the others. But the first thing I want to ask about is I saw there was a reference to the area near where the self-storage is for drainage. Now, that self-storage facility is a new facility. Typically, when facilities are constructed, they get their approval of drainage issues are an issue. It's addressed at that time. I know this is a state highway, so it wouldn't be a highway drainage issue. So could somebody please explain
Jay?
what that is for?
There is a large diameter storm sewer that runs through the parking lot of the old club, and now you have the self-storage facility. That was a pre-existing line. They found that there were problems, not related to the work associated with the self-storage facility, but pre-existing problems. The borough investigated it. The borough made some temporary repairs, and I believe this money is going to cover lining the pipe. They're not going to excavate what was just constructed. They're going to line the pipe to do the repairs.
Now, the self-storage facility got a pilot, so they're not paying property taxes. Were they required to contribute to this in any way?
They, to my knowledge,
They were not. Okay. And I didn't get a chance to look at all these things because you really don't make it easy. I mean, if you go on the website, you don't see all the project. What about Ulner Street? People have come up here and talked about drainage issues on Ulner Street. Is that being addressed in any of these?
Len?
Not in this cycle of budget. It's still being studied. We're still looking to get recommendations for a permanent fix from the engineering. We've taken those steps that were available to us in the short term, and we're working on the project, but it's going to be a very big project that'll be in the next capital cycle.
Okay. This, you might recall, this was up a month ago, and Donna had asked Councilman Zabrowski to postpone these until after the election. And I spoke a little bit then. Mayor, as you've noted before, I'm an old man, almost as old as you. I don't want to keep coming up every single one of these. Can we do this? We're spending, just in bonding, 17 million. I don't know what we're going to spend in interest. That would be a good question to know. But I don't know, $30 million maybe we're spending here. Can we, there was no discussion, as Councilwoman Novak brought up when these were introduced a month ago, absolutely no discussion at all. Boom, boom, boom. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Can we at least take a minute or two to explain to the taxpayers who will be paying this $17 million what these things are about? Maybe they're great. I mean, road improvements are good. Let us know which roads. Park improvements are wonderful. I hope that there are vehicles in here for the police department. I mean, those folks are out there 24/7. God knows that they ought to have the best. So I hope there are vehicles for the police department. Can we know what each of these bond issues are about, including 26, 25, which I wasn't quick enough to get up for? Is that asking too much?
Jim, I have a list of the roads, if you'd like.
So
I can-
Well, I would like not just me, I'd like everybody to know what's being paved and what isn't being paved. I think
Mayor?
people are probably interested in
Well,
what,
Almost done.
If I do that now,
Minute
you
to
know,
respond.
they will hear it. But just so you know,
thank you.
Ulna is in here for the engineering work, not the actual road repair, but we have included Ulna engineering work, all the design for that.
Okay.
Okay. But we have full reconstruction, Grove Street, Felix Terrace, Eugene Boulevard, Nottingham Place, Abbott Court, Mason Avenue, and just the engineer. To mill and pave John Street, Charles Street, Borough Hall Lower Lot, Adam Place, Harding Avenue, Martins Lane. Stormwater repair on Eric Court and what you just discussed with Jay. And then work to be done from, okay. The Johnson's Lane, Driftwood, and Jensen, what exactly is, because it's not under,
That's
30 seconds, Jim.
okay, that is.
30 seconds, Mary.
That was
30 seconds.
from 2024.
All
We're
right,
finishing
Mary,
up.
can I do this? Can I reclaim my time for a second? And I
I'm
appreciate you
sorry.
trying to answer a question. Can we have an answer on all of these, what we're spending this money on? Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
9 seconds is fair.
Yeah,
Mayor,
so go ahead, Donna.
may I? First, I would like to say I had questions that Mr. Robinson had brought up because I didn't know what was in these bonds. And I did take that council session off, but I did get the answers to all of those because our job here is oversight. And we should know what's in these bonds that were being looked at. All of the items have a corresponding budget approval. And let me go through this for Mr. Robinson, if you don't mind, since he had asked the questions about all of these. Ordinance 2625, park improvements that you had not asked the question about, has Kennedy Park pickleball windscreens, Little League field lights, Major Drive playground, ball field upgrades, miscellaneous park improvements, Kennedy Park walkway, and the War Memorial Park and pickleball parking. There's also, each one of these has the capital improvement fund and section 220, which I will defer to our CFO for questions on how those exactly work. The road improvements have Eric Court stormwater, the Route 35 stormwater that you had referenced, the road improvement program, which is our $4.65 million, and miscellaneous road repairs. The next one, 2825 various improvements, 911 upgrade, NVR replacement, data voice switch update, Borough Hall and Court AV upgrades, public safety jail upgrades, Borough carpet ADA stair treads, Fort Grumpy garage heaters, engine company exterior door frames, library walkway lights, finance stairway painting, emergency squad garage doors, technology upgrades, UST remediation, 550-gallon tank, miscellaneous stormwater improvements, various drainage improvements, traffic light repairs, salt dome cover, brine making system, grinder unit replacement, and GIS mapping. The next one, so you don't have to come up for that one again, is 2925 vehicles and equipment. We have a plow, 2 construction SUVs, fire truck, which is 1.1 million. It's, and then turnout gear, gas meters, utility, extrication, fire chief SUV, pickup with a plow, trackless multi-hog, 9 SUV vehicles for public safety, recreation SUV, skid steer, another plow, 2 additional plows, street sweeper, small rear loader, automated garbage cans, dumpsters. All of these, again, I want to remind everyone, were approved in the budget previously, so they correspond to a budget line. Section, the next one, 3025, that's our water department. We have leak detection, water mains, tandem dump with roll-off, guardrail system for Duhernal Access Road, service vehicles, GIS mapping, investigation and replace lead services, regulatory compliance, including service lines, Ernston Road culvert, and water treatment HVAC, and another water well redevelopment, which is 3125, is well redevelopment. Again, all of these correspond to a previously approved budget line item. This is the bond that is funding those approved line items. I hope that answers your questions about what's in each bond ordinance today. Mayor, thank you for humoring me on that.
Just so everybody knows, in this budget process, there are long, lengthy meetings between the business administrator, the chief financial officer, and each department head and selected members of the staff. It's a very, very long, thorough process. Sometimes there's a confusion about elected officials. By law, we're not really here to manage. We're here to set policy and direction. All that being said, I've been up here since 1997, and in the back behind Frank Terzino is a table. Every ordinance is printed out in detail, what it covers, what it's paying for, what it's supposed to do. It's also posted online. There's no secret here. There's complete and total transparency. This is just a synopsis of what the bond is for. All the detail is readily available both online and here printed in the back of the room. So let me just cover that. Also, Mary, you're on administration, you're on the budget committee. You sat through all those budget meetings.
Never had a meeting on the Capitol, not one.
Okay. Did you call for it?
And a lot of what.
Did you
just
call
said,
for, did you call for it?
It wouldn't have been up to me, it would have been up to Dan. I kept asking if we were gonna have one. In
well-
all the years I've been sitting here, we have always had
Okay.
1 to 2 meetings.
Mary,
on
then
Capitol.
after the meeting,
I just have to say this. You just said that all of this is in these ordinances. It is not. It does not mention one road to be paved.
Are the roads usually in the ordinance
Yes,
beforehand?
There's some
Yeah.
roads in there, section 3.
And I would like to say one last thing about Mr. Robinson's comments. I ask for things and maybe ask for a pause, not because an election is coming up, because for the 6 years I've sat here, I've investigated and asked questions each and every time, and my questions are getting better and better, and we're getting better oversight. So I think that I would expect an apology for that statement. Thank you.
All right. Long story short, did you have something to say, Alborough? No. This is a very transparent project, the budget. So I just dismiss when people say that there are secrets made. Okay, that being said, next bond.
Well, we need to-
Oh, I'm sorry. Dan?
I move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilpersons Balca.
Yes.
Halisi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sinarski. Zabrowski. Public hearing on bond ordinance 28-25, bond ordinance providing for various 2025 general capital improvements by and in the Borough of Saraville in the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,420,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,349,000 bonds or notes of the Borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
This time I'll open the public portion. Jim.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that explanation. It took about 4 minutes. It's a step towards accountability, it's a step towards credibility, step towards transparency. And people shouldn't have to ask those questions. Now, Mayor, you said it's in the ordinance. Those details are not in the ordinance. They aren't here. I looked at them.
Which ones? Which one is he
Thursday night.
talking about?
They aren't here, so they aren't what's on the back table. Those streets aren't listed. What's on the back table, the streets that were left.
Some of the streets are listed, and there's 1970 Route 35, and there's Eric Court.
All right.
Talked about
That
how
was the
these
sewer.
were in the budget. Let's remember, the budget vote down at the senior center, that was handled the same way. Were there questions? Were there details? Who remembers that meeting? I remember. Things didn't come out. I didn't ask these questions just for the fun of it. I mean, I spent a lot of time talking to people, as you might know, who wonder about these things. I don't think it's too much to tell people what we're spending
What are we
$17
missing?
million on, and that we would get attitude from somebody because I've asked that question, and then ask for an apology. I'm not going to apologize because you did ask Councilman Zabrowski to postpone these things until after the election, right?
Until I got my
You have a
answers.
motive.
Let
I
it
said
go.
you asked if they be postponed till after the election.
Let it go.
I'm sorry if that's not accurate, but it's accurate. Thank you. I appreciate that. 4 minutes, and we heard about how $17 million, and it's not really 17, that's what bond for, end up being, I don't know, I'm not gonna ask the CFO, but 30 million will it be?
No,
By the time
no.
things are done? I don't know. But spending 4 or 5 minutes to tell us these things, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Had there been this transparency and accountability and answering questions, for the last couple of years, things might have been different Tuesday. So asking questions and getting answers is a good thing. Not something that you ought to have a problem with, have attitude with, or ask apologies for. It's a good thing. I appreciate your answering the question. Councilwoman Novak and Councilman Roberts.
Mayor, may I say something? I
Go
just
right
want
ahead.
to say that the CFO did send an email to all the council people on October 16th detailing all of this. So I was prepared to answer questions before, because the CFO did give us all this information, the council people. Well,
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Being no other questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion.
I move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second final reading and advertised according to law.
second,
Roll call?
Councilpersons Balca,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Novak,
yes.
Roberts.
And once again, I was not on administration and finance. We are responsible for oversight here, which we do. So, yes.
Sinarski. Zabrowski. Public hearing on bond ordinance number 29-25, bond ordinance providing for acquisition of various vehicles and equipment by and in the Borough of Saraville in the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $3,680,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3,496,000 bonds or notes of the Borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
I'll open up the public portion for questions or comments. Being no questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion. Councilman Balca.
Move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second,
Roll call?
Councilpersons Balca,
Yes.
Halisi,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski. Public hearing on bond ordinance number 30-25, bond ordinance providing for various water utility improvements by and in the Borough of Saraville in the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $2,742,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,742,000 in bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof.
At this time, I'll open the public portion for questions or comments. Are there any questions or comments? Being none, I'll entertain a motion.
Move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski. Public hearing on bond ordinance number 31-25, bond ordinance providing for various water utility improvements by and in the Borough of Saraville in the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,900,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,900,000 in bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof.
This time, I'll open the public portion for questions or comments. Are there any? Being none, I'll entertain a motion.
Move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski.
New business.
Introduction of the following ordinance, ordinance number 33-25, Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, ordinance amending the borough's regulations and permitting requirements for the holding of special events throughout the Borough of Saraville.
Council President Roberts.
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing held on November 24th.
For a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski. Ordinance number 34-25, Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, ordinance amending the borough's regulations and permitting requirements for the use of the portable stage.
Council President Roberts.
Move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing to be held on November 24th.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski. Ordinance number 35-25, Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, ordinance amending the borough's regulations and permitting requirements for the renting of parks and picnic areas within the borough's parks.
Council President Roberts.
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing to be held on November 24th.
Councilman Balca.
Nope. Councilperson Roberts.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski. Ordinance number 36-25, Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, ordinance amending the borough's regulations and permitting requirements for the special event vendor permit.
I move the ordinance.
Councilman Balca.
Move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing be held on 11/24/25.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski. Ordinance number 37-25, Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, ordinance amending Chapter 2-64, fees and licenses.
Councilman Balca.
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing be held on 11/24/25.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Zabrowski. Ordinance number 38-25, Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, ordinance regarding Environmental Commission.
Councilman Sinarski.
I move the ordinance be approved on the first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing held on 11/24/25.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilperson Sinarski.
Yes.
Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Okay, public portion on the resolutions. Are there any questions or comments? Being no questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion. Council President.
I move the public hearing be closed and the consent agenda resolutions be approved on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Balca.
Yes.
Khaleesi.
Yes.
Novak.
I just have a few questions first. Are we paying anything to Jersey Central this month? Are we paying part of a bill, none of the bill, or what?
We're withholding payment per the council's instructions, and then I'll have something on that in my report.
Okay. The resolution 251, is that what we had to do to refund to the Bombers?
That's correct. That'll
Thank you.
finally settle the matter of the account, and we'll be able to do the reimbursement for the sports people.
Thank you. Yes.
Sinarski,
Yes.
Zabrowski. I need a motion to accept the correspondence.
So moved.
I move second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Novak,
Yes.
Valka,
Yes.
Khaleesi,
Yes.
Roberts, Sinarski,
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Mayor, may I say something? One of these things that we just accepted was the retirement of Rebecca Grabowski. That woman has done yeoman duty in this town. Just handling all the civil service requirements was a job and a half, and I'd like to thank her for all of her years that she's devoted to this town. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, report to the mayor and council, administration and finance, Councilman Balka.
Thank you, Mayor. Just remember tomorrow's Veterans Day, so please pray for our veterans and if possible, attend the services out in front of our hall at 11 a.m. In progress, Mayor.
Okay, planning and zoning, Councilman Zabrowski.
Thank you, Mayor. Also want to echo Mary's thoughts on Becca's retirement. I've worked with her for a long time. She's a tremendous asset to the borough. We're going to miss her. I know it's not till February, but wish her all the luck in the world on retirement as well. Moving on onto planning and zoning, one thing I do want to ask is for the councils. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Jim. What I would like to do is ask the council to join me in opposing a statute that's been, or a bill that's currently in the legislature. It's S 4736. It's curious that it came out at the end of October, but in any case, what it does is it gives religious and nonprofit organizations the ability to convert their properties into large-scale projects that include affordable housing units. And you're right to say hum, okay? Because it gets worse. It requires local planning boards to approve these projects automatically. If they meet basic zoning standards, no matter where they're located or how they might impact the surrounding area. It allows up to 40 housing units per acre and increases in building height beyond some local zoning limits. And these projects will also qualify for long-term tax exemptions as well. In the end, this is what we've all been battling about over the last how many months now? And that is, we want to be able to retain the ability on the local level to be able to determine what developments come into our town. I think we all know best. This would, in fact, no longer allow our planning board to consider traffic and parking, school capacity, environmental impacts, and really what would it do for the neighborhood character and infrastructure. So it effectively replaces community-based planning and just gives us a state mandated one-size-fits-all approach. So I'm asking at this point, and before I say that, no one's against affordable housing. At the end of the day, we want all our folks in our community to be able to have the housing that they need. Our seniors, our veterans, the young people that are moving, but at the end of the day, we still want to have that ability to have those decisions made on a local level within our community by our residents who serve on our boards. So I'm going to ask for support to have a resolution drawn up in opposition of S 4736.
Is that a motion? Because I would be happy to second that one.
Okay, roll call.
No, it's good. I mean,
Go ahead. Just go ahead and take a roll call.
Mayor, that's my report. Thank you.
Do we need a vote on that?
We don't, but the mayor wants one. Who's second?
I did.
Councilperson Zabrowski?
Yes.
Valka?
Yes.
Khaleesi?
yes.
Novak?
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes.
Sinarski?
Yes.
Anything else, Councilman?
No, that's my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Public safety, Councilman Khaleesi.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to present this evening's public safety report covering updates from our Office of Emergency Management, our police department, and our fire department. First off is Office of Emergency Management, because Director Bardsley gave it to me first. The director reports continued progress as his team works collaboratively with the police and fire departments to strengthen readiness and coordination across the borough. OEM continues to advance the modernization of our town's digital mapping systems, an important tool that supports emergency response and infrastructure planning. The department is also working closely with the administration on coordinating streetlight reporting and communication with JCP&L, ensuring improved safety and efficiency throughout the borough neighborhoods. Next report is from Chief Dan Plumacher. He reports that Saraville Police Department's Community Services Unit remains deeply engaged in both public safety and community outreach initiatives. So the first out of the four initiatives are traffic safety enforcement. So thanks to a newly awarded grant of $28,000, it's dedicated to aggressive and impaired driving enforcement. Additional manpower will be deployed at key times and locations to enhance roadway safety. This program runs through September of 2026 and will supplement routine patrols to address local traffic concerns. So if you get pulled over, just blame yourself. Next is the holiday food drives coming up on November 16th, the 23rd, from 10 to 2 at ShopRite. Officers, together with members of our Juvenile Academy, they'll host food drives to replenish local pantries and support families impacted by the ongoing government shutdown. Then we have a toy drive partnership. So in early December, officers will partner with the Recreation Department and hold a toy drive at Walmart on Route 9 in Old Bridge to ensure that the children in need receive holiday gifts. And the last initiative is the Parade of Lights. So December 7th, the department will once again play a major role in the town's annual Parade of Lights, handling traffic management and public safety operations. Additionally, they will proudly join the Bombers Beyond Cafe in presenting a collaborative parade float celebrating the district's inclusive vocational program and the strong partnership between our schools and law enforcement. And our Saraville, just want to say our Saraville PBA, Local 98, they just shared a post through their social media just hours ago. And it's really some amazing news. So Officer Davon Sanders, he's officially cancer-free. So our officers were on hand to support him. He rang the bell. So throughout the fight, Davon showed incredible strength, positivity, and determination. He never stopped inspiring those around him, reminding us what it truly means to have courage both on and off the job. So today we celebrate his victory, his resilience, and support of all those who stood beside his side through the whole time. So congratulations. What a victory. What great news. Bravo. Last, I have the report from the Fire Department, Chief George Gavin. He reports ongoing progress within the department as they continue training, equipment maintenance, and readiness of initiatives. The department remains focused on ensuring full preparedness for the upcoming winter season and supporting community events safely and efficiently. Coordination with OEM and the police department remains strong, reflecting the cooperative spirit that defines Saraville's emergency services. In closing, I want to thank all our first responders, the men and women of our fire, police, and OEM teams for their professionalism, teamwork, and continued dedication on keeping Saraville safe. On behalf of our dedicated first responders and Saraville's favorite councilman, thank you and stay safe. That concludes my public safety report this evening. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Novak, Public Works.
Yes, Mayor. I'm hoping for no snow, but the Public Works is constantly in preparation for it so that should God decide to hit us with some snow, they're going to be well prepared for it. I do have a question really here. An acquaintance of mine called me and told me that they saw on the civil service website that we are, I don't know whether it's saying we're going to hire somebody or calling for a test for an assistant superintendent. And I told them that I'm the chairperson of Public Works and I don't know anything about it. I called George Gavin, who is the superintendent of Public Works, and he says he knows something about it. So is this correct or is this a mistake?
We have not requested a test or a screening for any super. What that is that's civil service getting caught up from COVID. That's from the last round of DPW supervisors that we promoted 2 years ago.
That one's water, that I think,
Yeah, it's no new positions. It's civil service catching up with things we did 2 years ago.
Because they're saying assistant superintendent, and
No.
that would be a new position. Okay, thank you. Other than that, Mayor, progress.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Water, Sewer, Environmental, Councilman Sinarski.
Thank you, Mayor. As everybody knows, the community garden is wrapped up for this year. Our water and sewer are down to 177 million MGD last month. That's quite a difference from the summer when we were over 200 million. So the water usage is down. The wells are still low. We have some issues at number 1 and number 12 wells at Dewhernal. I checked on that today. That's why it's going to be $28,000 or $26,680 max to check these out. They're the ones that directly supply the water filtration plant. Those wells have to work. So they're going to do maintenance on them, try to repair them, try to get them back up to the putting out the correct amount of water. If not, we'll proceed to the next step, which I'll let you keep you informed about. Earlier in the summer, I talked about people painting fire hydrants, and I was involved in that when I was in CETA and long time ago, and it's nice to see that they're all done. They painted over 950 fire hydrants this summer. That's quite a bit, and I'm very proud of the Water and Sewer Department to have that done. Doesn't sound like much, but it is pretty nice to ride around and see clean fire hydrants. That's the conclusion of my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Recreation, Council President Roberts.
Thank you, Mayor. For recreation, I'll start with the report. And we have winter programming, including STEM robotics, youth cooking, dance movement, mad science, Red Cross babysitting, country line dancing, and a murder mystery show. Information and registration will be available on the recreation website by the end of this week or the beginning of next week. The Holiday Parade of Lights again is December 7th, beginning at 6 p.m. Join us for community organization parade floats, visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus, hot chocolate and cookies, carols and entertainment, and ride the mechanical reindeer and skate. This is new this year. Skate on our iceless skating rink. So bring your ice skates. There will be ice skates to rent there also. We also have our toy drive. We're accepting donations of new unwrapped toys for our annual toy drive through December 1st. Donations can be made to the Recreation Department during business hours. Also, I do want to say that we had a great recreation year. I want to reiterate that our Recreation Director, Brian Van Dogen, had been selected by the New Jersey Parks and Recreation Association as Professional of the Year. And we are very lucky to have someone like that in Sayreville to run all of these very successful events. He's worked diligently, being new in our town, bringing new innovative ideas to our rec department, and is a key part of our team as we move further to enhance the role of the Recreation Department. Key stakeholders with many large-scale park improvements, and a critical role leveraging our new improved parks, facilities, and outdoor opportunities for all our residents. We did a lot in rec this year. We put up pickleball courts. We did the paths behind here by St. Stan's, the farmer's market. There's so much going on in town. I have not been out of town for months and have always had something to go to. Also, with our cultural arts team, They have put out a lot of really high-quality events, especially the Scare in the Air at the park. That was amazing. But I did go to the high school's legislators' back-to-school day and did poll the classes to see if they knew about this. And even though it was sent to the schools, most of the kids didn't realize that we had some of this going on. So I think we need some better communication to the schools. So I have introduced our director, Brian, to contact one of the teachers at the schools who said she would be willing to be a bridge to that so that we can have more of those student activities come together. So I'm proud of having done all of that. And for tomorrow, we do have Veterans Day. I don't know if I'll have a chance to say anything. I will be there. I'm sorry I missed the Flags for Heroes event. My car needed some work, so I was unable to attend that. And Mike, you were part of the sponsorship of that with the Rotary. How was that?
We had a great turnout, and it was just a beautiful ceremony. But we have a lot to work on for next year. It's only going to get better.
Wonderful. I'm so sorry I missed it.
5 flags this year, so 25 more than last year.
That's wonderful.
And
Congratulations.
our goal is 100.
Okay. Always set higher goals than you can actually attain. And then just for our veterans, I just wanted to say a little something for tomorrow. November 11th is a tribute to the brave men and women who have fought and fallen for us and our freedom. In most of the English-speaking world, particularly in America, in those portions of the Commonwealth where the burden of war and waste has so disproportionately fallen, an evocative poem is offered in remembrance of those who served. It was written by a Canadian officer who lost a friend in battle and who noticed after battle how quickly poppies grew between the wooden crosses marking the graves of those who gave their last full measure devotion. In Flanders Fields. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow between the crosses row on row that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely sing and fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. Who are the dead? Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. May all of us in remembrance of those who have served our country find strength and solace in their sacrifice. God bless our veterans, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Just to reiterate, tomorrow we do celebrate Veterans Day, which is the celebration of all veterans who have served this country guarding our gates of freedom. It is at 11 o'clock, and it's actually the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. So it'll be out in front of Borough Hall. And I encourage everyone to come, because if you forget your history, you're doomed to repeat it. That being said, I do want to welcome the 2 new council-elects, Alberto Rios. Congratulations, welcome aboard. I look forward to working with you. Hervé Blamour, Hervé, I know you got caught at work tonight. I look forward to working with you, and a congratulations to the campaign manager, Jim Robinson. You won, Jim, and that's what counts. So congratulations. That being said, next is general discussion. Go ahead.
Application for a social affair permit received from OLV Church to serve wine at the Valentine's Wine and Cheese Party on February 7th from 6:30 to 9:30.
Any objection? Next item.
Authorization to renew Reliance Insurance Group as our insurance broker for health services for the year 2026.
Any objection? Next item.
Authorization to execute a contract renewal with North American Insurance Management Corp. to serve as risk management consultants for the year 2026.
Any objection? Next item.
Authorization to cancel tax sale certificate and refund the lien holder Tristone Capital Assets due to the homeowner filing for bankruptcy.
Any objection? Okay, next item.
Authorization to execute the renewal of an interlocal services contract with County of Middlesex for the provision of public health services in the amount of
Any
$203,309.56.
objection? Next item.
Request to travel received from Melrose and Morgan Hose to deliver Santa gifts to families in need through the Rain Foundation in Monmouth and Middlesex counties on December 17th and 18th.
Any objection? Next item.
And authorization to issue an emergency contract to AC Schultes, Inc. for well redevelopment at well 1 and 12 in an amount not to exceed $26,680.
Okay, Business Administrators Report.
Glenn?
Oh,
Yeah, Glenn, before you start, item number 2 on your, I believe, is a relative of Councilman Zabrowski, so I would recommend that he would recuse himself from that item.
Okay, go ahead, Glenn.
Authorization to promote Andrew Osga from keyboarding clerk 1 to keyboarding clerk 2 in the administration department effective December 1st, 2025.
Any objection? Next item.
Authorization to appoint Jessica Zabrowski to management specialist in personnel administration effective November 12th, 2025.
Any
Just for
objection?
clarification, this is just a replacement. It's not a new hire.
That's correct. And
It's not a new position.
Yeah, it's not a new position.
I do recuse myself from this.
Ready? And
Next item.
authorization to promote Meadow Magnani from management specialist to personnel director in the personnel administration department effective February 1st, 2026.
Any objection? Now it's time for you to applaud your daughter. Go ahead.
And lastly, Mayor, if you permit me, on the follow-up with the Jersey Central, and Mrs. Novak, to your question, when we started this odyssey, we were at 245 lights that the borough had reported. Those are repaired. Jersey Central, in the course of working with the mayor's office, found and fixed another 66 lights, bringing the total lights fixed and back into order at 311. We're satisfied that they've met their obligation, and we're looking for permission to release those checks that have been sitting in the safe and finance held in abeyance until the repairs were needed. So I'll need council permission for that.
And Glenn, that very problematic road that we had with the all the lights, we were going to put the extra lights on, that one has been corrected.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any objection?
We know how many lights we have out right now.
Now it's find them as they happen. We're caught up with the bulk of them. We've got somebody going out about once a week to double check on anything that may be out.
So we
But
have.
we're caught up, basically. We're caught up.
The original motion and that was made was that anything that was out over 30 days, we not pay for. But we're going to pay them everything the back. We're not charging them anything for all of that time that we were paying for lights that weren't out.
Well, I would have to defer to council here, but to my understanding of the contract, we're still obligated to pay. I don't know
That is my reading of the current contract. Unless we renegotiate and have new terms, we can withhold payment, but it doesn't say that we are no longer obligated to make the payment when the lights are fixed.
So
That's how
we,
the terms of the current contract is.
you know, I asked this question once a long time ago. If they're charging us for a service that they're not providing, can we not pay them? And I was told, yes. A motion was made and seconded that any lights that were out for over 30 days, we stopped paying for them. So what you're saying is that they finally got caught up, so now we're going to pay them everything that, for all of that time that they weren't, the lights weren't lit. That's what you're saying. They will be paid for everything.
That's just the terms of the contract. That's it's been in place for decades. We can renegotiate, but that's just what the terms of the contract say.
Counselor, why don't take the beginning steps of renegotiation.
Okay.
Also, it wouldn't hurt to ask.
I'm not
Fishing is
okay with
free.
this. It just seems like we're basically going to reward them for all of that time. The town was paying for, they can never go back and give us that time that we didn't have lights. But we were paying for it, and I just don't think we should be doing that. So I'm against this.
All right, is there any objection to going forward and paying our electric bill? Okay. That being said, that's it. CFO's report?
Mayor, I have authorization to release escrow for Quick Check 117 at 3101 Bordentown Avenue in the amount of $39,217.62.
Next item.
authorization to amend the 2025 budget for two grants. One is the Federal Highway Safety Grant in the amount of $28,000 and the 2025 National Opioid Settlement in the amount of $64,269.03.
Next item.
Transfer resolution.
Okay. Borough Engineers Report.
Thank you, Mayor. Two items. The Borough Hall Walkway Improvement Project and the Kennedy Park Bathroom Project have both been completed, recommending you adopt resolutions closing out both contracts and also resolutions approving closeout change orders that'll both have net reductions. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Anything on the Kennedy Park improvements, Jay?
He did that. He said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear it. Borough Attorney?
Nothing this evening, maybe. Thank you.
Okay, at this time I'm
Go
gonna,
to the public portion. I just wanted to say one thing. I was hoping that somebody else would mention it because I forgot it. Today, John Bon Jovi showed up at the Bombers Beyond Cafe. And I can't thank him enough for, you can go home. He's done so much in the town of Red Bank and several other towns and helping people get fed that, might be on hard times. And the Bombers Beyond Cafe has just been such a success in this town. And for him to come today, it's been quite, you got a picture of it? He came today, he took pictures with people, and I really like to thank him for that. Thank you, Mayor.
thank you. With that, I'll open the public portion for questions or comments. Bill?
Thank you,
Also,
Mayor.
Bill, congratulations to you as chairman.
Thank you.
Good win.
Thank you. Bill Henry, Orchard Street. I just want to make a comment for our Cerebral headquarters. I see a lot of donation projects going on for toys, food, and things like that. We would like to offer Cerebral headquarters in the shopping center by ShopRite as a location, if anybody wants to use it, to bring those clothing or whatever, be it the Scouts or a church or a nonprofit or somebody like that. This is our way of saying thank you and giving back to the community. If anybody wants to use Democratic headquarters in the ShopRite Center, just have them get in contact with me and we'll let them use it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Anyone else? No one? Bob, is it? Oh, Ken. Oh, Alberto.
Hi. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and fellow residents. First, I want to thank the people of Sayreville for your trust and confidence in Hervé and I during this past election. It's humbling to have earned the opportunity to serve, and although we won't be sworn in until January 1st, I want to begin tonight by reaffirming our commitment to every resident who voted, and even those who didn't, that we will work hard to represent all of Sayreville with honesty, transparency, and common sense. This evening, I'm not here as an elected official, but as a resident and as a council member-elect, someone preparing to step into a position of public trust. I wanted to share a few priorities and requests that I believe are important as we plan the months ahead. One of the most pressing concerns I've heard from residents, and one that weighed heavily throughout the campaign, is the proposed development of hundreds of apartments behind Kennedy Park. Now, I understand that as a municipality, we have obligations under our affordable housing requirements, the so-called CAOH or Mount Laurel obligations, to ensure a certain number of affordable units or credits. I respect that obligation and I support responsible, fair housing opportunities. But responsible housing does not mean placing high-density development right behind our most valued park. It doesn't mean adding hundreds of cars to our already strained local roads, and it doesn't mean disrupting the quality of life that residents have built around that area. So tonight, I'm formally requesting that we direct our borough planner to identify an alternative plan, one that finds the 22 required affordable housing credits somewhere else. If we can find those credits through rehabilitation, through existing units, through partnerships with nonprofit housing organizations, or through the redevelopment elsewhere in town, then we can eliminate the need for those hundreds of apartments behind Kennedy Park altogether. Councilwoman Novak made similar suggestions, and the planner said they were valid, but those were ignored. Let's be proactive. Let's find creative, responsible solutions that allow Sayreville to meet its legal housing obligations without compromising our parks, our neighborhoods, or our community values. The residents have spoken clearly. They want thoughtful development, not overdevelopment. They want balance, not burdens. And it's our job to make sure we listen. Second matter I want to raise is one of governance and ethics, specifically concerning matters that involve Mr. Mako and any potential overlap with the borough's attorney's firm's prior representations of him or his entities. This is not a personal criticism of anyone. Our professionals work hard, and I respect their experience and dedication. However, as public officials, we have a duty to uphold the highest standards of transparency, fairness, and impartiality. And sometimes that means taking extra steps to ensure the appearance and reality of independence. Therefore, I'm requesting that we schedule another sit-in or review session to discuss the borough's attorney's role in all Mako-related matters. If there is even the potential for a perceived conflict of interest due to prior legal representation, then it would be prudent to designate a separate attorney or special counsel to handle those matters. This is not about politics. It's about preventing any question of impropriety before it arises. Our residents deserve to have full confidence that every legal opinion, every recommendation, and every action taken on behalf of this borough is done free from any divided loyalty or prior obligation. We talk often about restoring trust in government, and this is exactly how we do it. By setting clear boundaries, by insisting on accountability, and by acting before issues become problems. In closing, I want to say again how grateful I am for the opportunity to serve. I believe in Sayreville, in our people, our parks, our neighborhoods, and our shared future. We have so much potential here. We have the opportunity to plan smartly, to grow responsibly, and to make sure our decisions today leave Sayreville better for next generations. I intend to work and collaborate with everyone, even when we disagree, because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing, a safe, thriving, and transparent Sayreville that puts residents first. So let's get to work, and thank you.
Thank you, Alberto.
May I just comment on that?
Sure.
I just wanted to respond to the issue with, or about the conflict of interest. I did want to note that once I learned about the prior relationship between my firm and Mr. Mako, I did announce at a public meeting that even though looking into it, I didn't think it was a technical conflict of interest, that I would be recusing myself to anything dealing with Mr. Mako's development because of that appearance and for that exact reasons why you stated. But I do agree with you, and I had announced that I would be recusing myself from any dealings with Mr. Mako moving forward on that site. And then with regard just to the affordable housing, right now we are in negotiations and settlement negotiations, part of the process, the affordable housing process that we're required to comply with under the program, and our dealings with Fair Share Housing Center is the only objector to our plan. And what we're doing is working on trying to resolve a settlement. And part of that, we are actually, in working with the planner, looking at alternatives. Not knowing if we're going to have it in time because it has to be resolved and finalized by the end of December. Because that's the deadline with the court order, but we are looking at other alternatives, including, as brought up by other council members, extending controls, different sites, possibly purchasing controls on existing sites. But we had to, why that was included is because, at least that site and the sites that were chosen, was because it checked all the boxes of the requirements for affordable housing development at the time. And we had a deadline that we had to adopt the plan by June 30th that set forth something that would accomplish our number. So we looked at the ones that would be most defensible against any challenges, but it was by all means not a final list. It was something that we had to be able to put forth to meet the requirements of the statute, but we were always looking at for alternate sites and what's the best for the municipality moving forward.
Any other questions? Ken?
Thank you, Mayor. Ken Olszewski, Sayreville. After I spoke at the last meeting, there was quite a discussion on the old firehouse next door and the usage for it. And I'd like to ask, who decided on the use of the firehouse, the old firehouse next door? Anybody going to say anything? Well, let me start off by saying, I talked to Dan Balka. He said he had nothing to do with it. You know anything about it? I don't believe Mary had anything to do with it. Who decided on
Well,
this?
do you want an answer? Or you want
Yeah,
to keep
yes,
talking?
please.
Sure.
Just
Okay.
don't suck up on my time.
Well, Ken, don't talk so much. That
I'm
being
here.
said, that has always been office space. We're not creating a new use. We're merely bringing the use that has always served to current building standards. It's not current. There's asbestos, there's lead, there's $3 million worth of adjustments just to bring it to current building standards. That was always office meeting, and in the basement, it was the original jail until they built this building in around 1940, and the jail went in the basement here. So there's no new use. It's just bringing the current use. The use has been going on since 1909 to meet current building standards.
I know the history of it, Mayor. What I'm asking, sir, I know when it was built. I know all the history. What I'm asking, after the referendum, who made the decision there? Well, this is now going to be offices.
It was just the people said they didn't want it knocked down. So we just bringing it to current standards.
And what money is being used for this? Is this open space money?
I believe it's open space
Oh, and
money.
I'm sure that people that support open space, they want that money used for office space, right?
Go ahead.
Is that what we're saying? Wow.
Just for a moment, you're truncating the name of that. It's the Open Space Farmland Preservation and Historical Preservation Trust Fund.
Okay, so it's open space money, is that right? Where's it coming from? Did we bond for this now? Can we bond? What kind of bonds?
It's coming from the Open Space Farmland
Okay, so it's open
Preservation and
space money. Okay,
Historical
I got it.
Preservation Fund.
I got it, yes, yeah. And we talked about this $3 million, how much money this is. But nobody said anything about easily giving away $100 million to Trammell Crow on the warehouses. Everybody voted aye up here in this group. Now $3 million is so much money. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like we're gonna fix the people that voted for this referendum. You didn't want it. I know Stosh didn't want it. We're gonna fix these people. We're gonna screw them, and we're gonna put offices in them. That doesn't sound very right to me at all. And I don't think it sounds right to too many other people. And now I want to go into something I talked about last time. The deal of council meetings that you do not answer questions. I spoke about that. I've spoken about it numerous times. I told you last meeting, I asked people specifically from Albany. I said to Rensselaer, New York, I have friends. Jackson, New Jersey, Old Forge, Pennsylvania, Taylor, PA. Everybody said the same thing. They asked me to repeat the question because they thought they didn't hear me right, that you don't answer questions up there. So I talked to a friend of mine, by coincidence, from the West Coast over the weekend, talking about elections. And I asked him, he asked me what I thought of New York City. Of course, everybody's talking about it. And I said to him something that I've been too embarrassed to say to anybody else. I said that our mayor called people who attend meetings dopey people with no lives and a-holes. And he said to me, quote, you have a mayor who is ignorant of democracy. He has no idea of the core of democracy is about people and people involved in government. And you're trying to ignore that. And he said to me, it sounds very much like your mayor. It's similar to the guy they just elected in New York. And the last thing he said to me,
30 seconds, Ken.
it's about, thank you very much, Mayor. He said, the last thing he said to me, it might be time to look at a recall of this mayor because he's ignorant of democracy. Thank you very much.
Okay, Jim?
Thank you, Mayor. Jim Robinson, Parlin. First, I want to wish Councilman Balka a happy birthday. I'm sorry you have to spend your birthday with us, but I think it was great that John Bon Jovi came up to sing happy birthday to you. Back in August, in this council chamber, after the vote not to allow a referendum, Alberto said to me, we need to save that property. What do we do now? And I said, don't worry, there'll be a referendum and they're letting us frame the questions. And we did. And last Tuesday, there was a hell of a referendum. In fact, a 1,300 vote victory isn't just a referendum, it's a mandate. It was a referendum on preserving 40 acres. It was a referendum on open space, on keeping the Shade Tree Commission that you wanted to abolish, on overdevelopment. It was a referendum on substance and sleazy campaigns. It was a referendum on the Rubber Stamp Council. It was a referendum on bipartisanship. And most of all, it was a referendum on Kennedy F. O'Brien. Interestingly, the low vote getter, Donna Roberts, still got 1,300 votes more than the mayor got when he ran. A record 50% of the voters came out last Tuesday. They really wanted their voices heard. Alberto and Hervé got 2,200 more votes than the mayor did. 2,200. The people spoke loudly and clearly, and they gave you a mandate. They're tired of corruption. They're tired of law firms paying for their jobs and secret dark money political accounts. They're tired of your reckless pilots and overdevelopment and your make-believe care about open space. Already saved 700 acres. Where? Crab Island at high tide? Low tide? That's ridiculous. They're tired of your never saying no to whatever the developers and contributors want. I told Alberto and Hervé to focus on issues because I know that the O'Brien-Roberts team wouldn't. I knew that because last year, a councilman who didn't like a campaign mailer that I had nothing to do with about an employee suit, that I don't know, cost us $1 million, $750,000, I'm not sure. But anyway, that councilman didn't like the mailer and he said to me, "We'll see how you like it when your family gets mailers about you." And John, congratulations on the new hire. I hope that she's being hired at more than $48,000, which is what our cops start at. $48,000. Our cops have to start at more money than that. Other messages were sent to me to be quiet. I knew that was going to happen. I expected it. I put my love for my town over what Scum would do to me personally. But the people spoke. They want change. Tuesday wasn't only a referendum, it was a mandate. And well, Alberto just suggested here was a good idea. What Mary suggested was a good idea. I met no one who thinks 250 apartments for a measly 22 credits is a good idea. The state didn't say you had to put 250 apartments there. And if you had bought it when McCormick and Kilpatrick suggested it, it wouldn't even be under consideration. So it wouldn't have checked all the boxes if it was open space, Joe. But Kennedy, you stopped that from happening. And with less developable land, our affordable quota would be lower, okay? Mary, you know I'm moving. I bought a house out of state last year to be near my son and grandchildren. So I really shouldn't care, but I do. I was born here. My mother was born here. I love this town, and it breaks my heart what's happening. The people deserve better. What you have been doing isn't working. The election is over. Please listen to these new guys and Mary. They're no yes men, and she's not one of the boys. Listen to them. Give them a shot. Consider what they are saying about open space and preserving the 40 acres. Council, stop listening to the mayor. Look where he's led you. You govern, not the mayor. You have your own voices. You have your own brains. And Mayor, please pay attention to what the people want and stop doing stupid stuff. They want you to do good things that work for the town. Please work together and consider what these two new guys and Mary want to do to preserve open space, cut down overdevelopment, and stop unnecessary, reckless pilots. Thank you.
Anyone else? Being no one else, I'll close. I'm sorry. Oh, Frank, come on up.
Yeah, Frank Terzino, Canal Street. Mary, you had a great thing with Bon Jovi today, but I just want to show off what we got today. We got Bon Jovi in our museum today, and he said he's coming back. So we're very proud, that he's coming back, and it's just a good thing for the town. It's putting us out there, and that's a great thing. So thanks for bringing it up, and I wasn't gonna bring this until you said something, so now I gotta, oh, yeah, I'm still crazy, so. And thanks to Art for texting me, and I thought he texted me that we have a Bon Jovi artifact, not the real Bon Jovi, so I didn't go. So I missed him, but I'll catch him next time. But I just wanna, he's in our museum, and if you notice at the top of the picture, there's one of his, what do you call, posters that my wife donated. So, plus we showed him a couple of things we have, and I think we can do better, he said, so, thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Is there anyone else? Being no one else, I'll
I
entertain.
make a motion to close the public.
All in favor of closing the
Aye.
public portion?
And before we, yeah, close the public first, then we'll talk.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, go ahead, Joe.
Mayor, actually, I've looked into I want to correct something I said before about the JCP&L. I'm looking at the language of the contract again, and it's, it was written quite some time ago, so it's not current language, but
It was in the 80s.
yeah, it was, early 80s maybe. So they used a lot of legalese, but I'm reading through it again, and it may be a basis for us to withhold the payment where we keep it, we don't make it. It's not withholding it. So I'll work with the administrator, confirm that, make sure that we're on strong legal
That's
lines.
what I thought you told me when I asked it the first time. I think we were at the building in the senior center or the active
Possibly.
adult center.
But I will, I'm rereading it. I read it a couple more times, since the language, and I think there is a basis we might be able to make the claim to say that we don't have to pay it at all. So I will work with the administration and confirm it. by
Thank
the
you.
next
I
meeting.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And Mayor, before we close, can I just have a few minutes?
Yes, but first Mary has
I
some.
just had a question. After Alberto talked, the attorney said something. We are, because I was going to make a motion, about, look, when the planner was here, I asked the question about possibly subsidizing some of the apartments in town. We have several groups of apartments. And they said it could be done, but it was going to take a long time. And I was going to make and you said something about it being more expensive. You remember that?
Well, yeah, it's under the new regulations that the UHAC regulations. It used to be, just to clarify, historically, but municipalities were able to extend those controls just by resolution. It was under the municipality's total control. Under the more recent, under the current UHAG regulations, we have to pay a minimum of $17,500 per unit we want to extend. That is under the temporary UHACs. The UHAC regulations, that's the Uniform Housing Affordability Control regulations. The new regulations that are expected to go into place next month, I believe it is, has exponentially increased that. It's now based off a percentage of what the market rate of the unit would be as to what the municipality has to pay to correct them. So each of these reiterations of the regulations are making it harder and harder for municipalities to keep existing units rather than having to construct new ones. It can be done. It just, I couldn't tell you what it's going to be because it's a whole mathematical formula. You have to look at what the market rate is, and then it's going to be a percentage of that is what we have to pay for each unit to extend it. But it is absolutely a possibility.
And Mary, I think we're on the same page because I had asked about using Winding Woods and accumulating some of their apartment complex to go to affordable housing. And I had gotten the same response about not being able to because of well, if you would explain,
Yes, no,
please.
we're looking into that now, and I was just speaking to the planner about that as of Friday. But one of the things is you have to have a willing seller, because on those, we don't have existing
Absolutely.
control. So it's the whole negotiation willing seller, because what we'd be doing is not buying the unit, but buying a affordable housing restriction
Right.
on an existing
Right.
unit. And if they're willing to do that, depending on negotiation, because there's no set price for that,
Right.
we'd have to negotiate a price and how many units and if they're willing to do that. But it's definitely an option that we are pursuing. I know I've spoken to the planner about looking into it on their end as of Friday.
I was going to make a motion to do that, but I just wanted to clarify what I heard in my mind. That is something they are currently going to look into.
Yes.
See the
absolutely.
possibility.
Yes.
And maybe at the next meeting, CFO, could you let me know how much is in the Affordable Trust Fund? So I know, I have no idea. I know we established that. Kennedy, do you remember what year that was? It was about 5 or 6 years ago that we established the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. So you remember? Okay. Just if we can know how much that is, we have some idea of how much money that we have put in there specifically for something like this to, offset the cost of affordable housing. So I don't have to make a motion. We are going to look at this because if there's any other way, to do these numbers, because the state gives us the numbers. We still get to decide exactly where we put these things. So as long as, without my motion, we're still doing this.
I wouldn't make that statement that we get to decide. They have guidelines that we need to follow. So,
So, it occurs to me, we've been talking about the 40 acres, which we had when Vicky was mayor. I made the motion, Mary seconded, that we get an appraisal for that property so that we can make an offer. I think it would be prudent, we have property on Ernston Road that we would like to protect. Might be a good idea to get a estimate on that property and make an offer to collect that into open space, because
Where exactly you're referring to, Donna?
on Ernston Road,
Okay, it's a pretty big road.
between Bordentown and Route 9
Okay.
by Park Avenue,
Mhm.
there was a proposed plan by a group already that was denied.
Mhm.
And I think we should make an offer for that property.
Can't hurt.
So I make a motion that we get an estimate for that property and then follow through with making an offer to put that into open space. Is there a second from anyone?
let's review it a little. That litigation.
Jim,
Public could be, it could be.
Site, which site is it?
It was the Musk site.
I would retract that. You can't, I would retract. I would advise the council to take any action.
Yeah,
It's a
I agree
litigation.
with Mayor, only because of the fact that this is a
Litigation.
matter involving the approvals that were denied by the. board on this lot.
Okay, so it's still pending, but it is something.
Okay, that being said, let me reiterate, what we do up here is run a service company. They're approximately 45,000 people who live here. There are 600 streets. We own the raw material on the water. We own the distribution, the filtration. We own the pipes for the sewer. We run a service company. We provide 24-hour, 7-day-a-week police, fire, and first aid. And what a lot of people miss out on, they think that this is Washington DC, and they're gonna, it's just providing services. Sometimes I think people really get misled. We have to operate within the law. And what we would like, if you go back and look at some of the maps, around 1980, 1990, Sayreville was really a strip mines. It was just full of strip mines. They were clay, they were sand, earth, sand. And over the course, they were developed. Particularly once the exit for the Parkway what was brought into Sayreville, there was easy access. And a great many people came here. They liked it. They came from North Jersey. They came from Staten Island, Brooklyn, and they just liked it. They liked the lifestyle. And here they are. And in the course of that time, about 4,500 or more housing units were built. And we went from a small a small town population-wise, to a larger town. It's the way it goes. The rights of the property owner is what the United States is based on. So it's always good to say, I'm going to confiscate. There's no magic wand here. They did confiscation down in Long Branch not in my lifetime they did it. And they went into neighborhoods where people had lived there multi-generations, and they said, well, we're kicking you out, and this is the price we're going to pay you because we're going to build a resort. Always think, something like eminent domain might start out with a good intention, but if you get a bad person in charge and he doesn't like you, he can come into your neighborhood and take your house, kick you out. That's the downside to start going in and taking property. It may start out with a noble intention, but you get a really bad person who's full of dislike and hatred for people, and they'll come in and they'll make life miserable for a lot of people. That's one of the big reasons I'm adamantly opposed to this. As far as whether apartments go there or they don't go there, that was all part of the original Crossman Sand Company. And around 1990, the late 80s, the borough ran a budget surplus every year. My understanding was around $1 million. That property ran for $1 million. Of course, the borough didn't buy it then. They waited till it became extraordinarily expensive. I've talked to Mr. Mako over the years about selling not only that property, but the property, the Amber site, which is I think it's 140 acres on the Main Street side, Jay, 130? 150. And the price he wanted was far beyond our reach. At what point do we say we can't afford it? And for what purpose is it for us? 140 acres, he would probably want about $75 million, $500,000 an acre. That would be my guess. And it's like, we want to spend $75 million, go into debt for what reason? And that's where it gets difficult. So there were plenty of people that sat up here in the 80s and the 90s that chose to do other things with the surplus each year, and buying open space wasn't one of the things that was on the priority list. So now that it's on the priority list, it's beyond our reach financially.
Mayor, may I
Yes.
just add to that I think what I proposed perfectly illustrates the challenges that we have in our town to maintain open space, to purchase anything new. And as you've been saying, the owners don't want to sell to us. So we've got a great challenge here. It's not as easy as saying, let's just buy it. Let's just take it.
Okay.
So thank you for the additional clarity,
All right.
but that's one of the reasons we can't do what people propose to do. We are trying our hardest
Well,
to get this done.
Saraville doesn't have a good history of going to court on land property. We don't have a good batting average. It's easy to take somebody to court. Well, currently, where the Board of Education would like to build the bus depot on the DuPont property. So it has to go through a process and a procedure. It has to go through public hearings, it's just, anyway, it's a process. Everything here is a process. But at the end of the day, we're running a service company. Some people think it's a lot more. The other thing is, when I was running to come back for my sixth term, practically everybody I talked to said, Mayor, when you get back in, you got to make people talk less. Because it was a fairly common thing in the last administration that people would go on and on and on. It was the same people, basically. And they would talk without pause. The majority of the people that I spoke to when I was campaigning for myself, they wanted it ended. That's how we came up with the time limits. We looked at some other towns. And basically, the thing is, if you can't say what you need to say in 5 minutes, you're not going to get it done in 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So that's why we said 5 minutes, shorten it up, get to the point. It's a service business. It's not complicated. People make it complicated. And it isn't. A service business is a very simple business. So that being said, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor? Oh, by the way, Dan, happy birthday.
Should we sing?
Is there a motion, all in favor?
Aye.